on, y'all? Y'all already know what time it is. The Absotrufully Podcast back at you with another one, man. Listen, I'd like to thank all the mothers, man, for all the hard work, the sacrifice, working two jobs, trying to make ends meet. Sometimes father's not present. But the day is about you all and what you mean to us, you know, all over the world, no matter what race, creed, or color, whatever it is. Y'all mothers have kicked butt since the beginning of time, and I'd like to thank you so much for your hard work and overcoming so many obstacles as a woman in this world, and who you still are today as a pillar in every family. So I'd like to thank you all so much, and it's nothing that we can do to pay you back but to just love on you. And one of my favorite songs was Tupac, "Dear Mama," because he talks about how much he appreciated his mama, no matter about her flaws or whatever. A mom, they come a dime a dozen. Some women may not have their stuff in order. Some of them may, be temporary without their kids, and the day is still about you too because you are a mother. So if that's you and you're listening, just know, keep your hope, keep your faith, continue to pray. Hopefully, y'all reunite and everything happens. I also want to talk to the people who have lost their mom because the day can be a tough day for you all. And I don't take that lightly. As you know, if you've been following me for a moment, I'm studying to be a clinical mental health counselor slash therapist, and I have a year left, so I'm learning so much more about mental health and especially loss and addiction. But I'm talking about loss today. So if you're one of those people that do not have your mom around at this moment, I'm gonna have a moment of silence for you. All right, y'all. So listen, I don't want to take a great day and ruin it, but we have to talk about some serious issues that we're seeing in the world right now. So suicide. Let's be for real. Suicide is on the rise. It's a silent killer. People do not understand the rise in numbers in the past 4 years, especially from kids from ages 5 to ages 12 years old. Suicide has increased. It's so many different variables that I can't name them all, but we know social media can play a big impact. We know trauma, and we know especially COVID in the time that they was isolated to their homes and trying to do school. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. Most kids that come from those type of unstable backgrounds, they use school as a getaway, right? To get away from the trauma. My mother being one of them people. And so when it got taken away from them during COVID, think about the craziness that they had to endure, had to face, right? Think about that time. So kids were going through a lot. You understand what I'm saying? So I have to talk about suicide because the numbers are rising increasingly. I'm not the type of person that likes to just talk about topics that's on the top of the page in social media. This might not get a lot of likes, but my mission on earth is at least help change one person. And if I can help change one person, that one person may can help change two. And we know that God does the transformation. So suicide is a real topic. Most people do not understand that suicide is committed more by a man. And the reason why is because of our aggressive nature. Most men who's going to take their lives, they use the act of a gun, a firearm, and excuse this yogurt on my finger. They use a gun, firearm of that sort, or they'll go jump off, the bridge or whatever, right? And they do it. Sometimes when women try to commit, unaliving themselves, they use it by the means of pills or the slit of the wrist that they end up, somebody can end up helping save them, in the long run if they find them in time, that type of thing. So that's why the numbers are more higher for men. Another topic that coincides with this, the numbers say that Caucasian males have the highest rate of suicide. But what you don't understand is that they do not accurately dialogue the numbers for the African American community. You know why? Because suicide sometimes in the African American community can be, and I know you have seen where I'm going in my ops neighborhood. I'm I'm outside tonight. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you where my address is at. I'm gonna go to their side of their neighborhood. I'm gonna shoot a music video. See, a lot of people think that's them trying to be tough, and sometimes it can be propaganda because they know that violence and craziness sells. But a lot of times those guys have got tired of life. Think about it. Already coming from a troubled home, seeing the people that they love, that they grew up around with, that had similar situations going on, was unalived by gun violence. And now they look around and sometimes they don't have their mom and dad and they don't lost so many friends in their life. They've been in and out of jail. So guess what they'll do? They won't take their own lives, but they'll go stand in the so-called ops neighborhood to be unalive. And that's in Chicago, that's in St. Louis, that's in every city you can think of. And that's what we have to do as mental health professionals, is be able to find a way to get out into the neighborhoods to just have a conversation. See, a lot of people think about change as this big grand scheme of I'm going out here to make a change. Well, your change starts with building rapport. It's no community or no nation in the world that you can go to and tell them something that's better for them, and it may go against their cultural standards if you don't build rapport. That's why in any relationship, my relationship with God, I must communicate. My relationship with my wife, I must communicate. My relationship with the youth, I must communicate in a way where they feel respected and not rejected. See, what's going on in our community and all across the world is that we have allowed our own people to talk about and down the kids that we see in the neighborhoods. Yeah, some of them not doing what they supposed to be doing, and they gonna get they justice if that's what's needed. We gotta let God make that decision. But a lot of times we'll turn our head to them. We won't tell them hello, hey, how you doing, young man or young lady, how you doing. We'll just keep on going, and then when something happens where they're unalived by officer or whatever, now we're ready to raise all hell. You got to make it make sense to me. Let's raise all hell when these young people are unaliving themselves in the city, in the inner cities. Let's go and tell them, show them how much we love them. Let's go have dinner with them. Let's sit down with them. Even if we got to have somebody, if we can get to one, a lot of them won't come because a lot of them done had preachers in their neighborhood for years that weren't able to make any changes, right? Weren't able to build rapport with them, and that's okay. But we just cannot give up. I think the restoration of a man to the home can definitely help out, but that's far fetched. I'm gonna tell you about a story, and this story is gonna be real quick because I know that y'all attention span is not long. So it was a story about this African village that had baby elephants running through the tribes, tearing up all of the tents, all of the anything they had built in the tribes. They took the baby elephants would run through daily, and the tribal people didn't know what was going on. They probably tried witch doctors and everything else, and they couldn't get anything to work. Those baby elephants would come, wreak havoc, every single day. And so it was a scientist that came from another country, and they told the scientists what was going on. So after doing some research, what they found out is that the baby elephants, the father of the male elephant of that tribe, that where the elephants they colonized at, he had passed away. So what happened was those young elephants were running haywire because all they had was the feminine energy from the female elephants, the moms, the aunties, like we would think as people. So what they did was they went and found another colony of elephants that had two dominant males there. And what they did, they moved one elephant from there to the one where the young elephant were raising hell at, and end up, guess what happened? They stopped running around wild. So that is a story of how important it is for us as men to be in the midst of our families, be in our kids' life. I have failed. I let me be for real. I haven't been a perfect father. Let me not sit up here and play any games. Nobody can tell you what I'm already telling you. I haven't been a perfect father, but I know how important it is. So let's make sure that we go into communities and help protect our baby elephants. Man, God is good. Suicide is real. But if you truly believe, if you continue every single day knowing that you're more than enough, help encourage others that you may see. If you see a person working at Publix and you see their name tag, call them by their name. Thank them for coming to work that day. You never know what somebody is facing. I will leave the suicide number at the end here. God bless you all. Y'all already know what time it is. It's Truthfully Podcast. Big stepper for God in the building. Mr. Everyday is Friday himself. Let's go.